used to teach computer science in the university, that I'm entrepreneur, and I sit on some government committees. One of the very first reactions people will ask, why? Why are you doing this? No, aren't you afraid? And this is Singapore. We all know that the road to politics in Singapore is very, very tough for those who are in the opposition. Now you just look, after so many years, we still have only two opposition members in parliament. Okay, we are the underdogs in this election. So, I want all of you, when your PAP candidate come to your constituency, you ask them, what is their motivations? Why are they here? You know? Now I joined the opposition because myself, like all of us, my fellow candidates sitting here, I believe that we cannot have just one voice in the parliament. There must be a choice for all of you. There should be alternative ideas, and your voice must be heard. Like what Mr. La has said yesterday, we need to make ourselves into co-driver of the Singapore car, so that if the PAP doesn't drive properly, we can guide them. We can talk to them. We can even wake them up if they are sleeping. I see some supporters have made a driving license out there. Can I see the driving license? Yes. That is the Workers' Party driving license. Yes. Singaporeans, this is elections that we will get a driving license. I come to the Workers' Party willingly. Myself and my fellow candidates here, we are all passionate about serving the country. We came here on our own will. We love Singapore. We love this country. Now 2 weeks ago, Dr. Yaakob Ibrahim said, don't play with your votes. This is the only country we have. There is no margin for error. He is trying to frighten you. The PAP likes to say that the opposition is there to make errors. If you let us in, we will make errors. But I'd like to ask, over the last 5 years, who are the people who have been making the errors? I'd like to ask, who allowed so many foreigners in without first building enough houses or making sure our transport system can accommodate all of them? Now I'd like to ask, who couldn't handle the flood situation and say, oh, it happens once every 50 years? And the 50 years come again very fast because we flooded again a few weeks later. Now who miscalculated the YOG budget? Now who let a crippled terrorist escape so easily out of Singapore? to Singapore? I think we should be very, very frightened. We should be very frightened of the situation where we move back to a situation where we have zero elected member of parliament and they have a total monopoly. Very good. That will not happen. Thank you. You remember that in 2006, Singaporeans gave a very strong mandate to them. So strong that they are so confident that they raised the GST from 5 to 7% right after that. So if you let yourselves be frightened, then they get a very much stronger mandate. What do you think will happen? There will be so many other policies that they can change without asking you.
10%.
Fellow Singaporeans,
10%.
your vote is secret. And your vote is your right. This is a democratic country. You have a right to vote anybody that you wish. You do not have to be frightened of anything. Now, okay, the PAP is afraid. They are afraid that they will lose their absolute grip on power. They tell you that they are the only smart people who can run this country. They tell you that the investors will all run away if you give us your votes and you have more opposition in the parliament. But I say to you, stand up Singapore, stand up for the Workers' Party, Majulah Singapore. You don't have to be frightened. Okay, as an entrepreneur and businessman for the last 11 years, I know that monopoly is bad. It is bad for the consumers. Remember those days when your telephone bills were very high because there's only Singapore Telecoms? Then we had competition and the handphone costs and your bills came down. Competition will force companies to be more innovative. If you have a monopoly, the company can charge high prices, pay themselves very well and be very comfortable. So they don't have to be very innovative because you have no choice but to accept only them. Now the government knows that monopoly in business is bad. So they pass a competition or antitrust law to prevent monopolies from taking place. But when it comes to politics, they say no, they must have everything. They must have monopoly of the parliament. Okay. It is really up to you on May the 7th to really prevent this monopoly, to show them that yes, we can be on our way to a first world parliament. Now I'd like to round up by quoting from a very famous person, from President Barack Obama. He said, change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we have been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. The general elections comes once every 5 years. At the last general elections, we had very strong crowd support, just like tonight. But when the ballots were counted, it is 82 to 2. I want all of you to think, are you able to live with whatever decision you are making on the 7th of May for the next 5 years? We have the newspaper, everybody can see, they reported that this is the strongest opposition slate ever in Singapore since independence. You have the golden opportunity
Aljunied constituency。接下来，我们的下一位演讲者也来自东海岸。Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is none other from the candidate from East Coast GRC, Mr. Eric Tan.
Wow, there's so many of you out there. Thank you very much for coming. My fellow countrymen, my fellow Singaporeans, in this election, we know that you want more checks and balances. Yes? You want more Workers' Party MPs in Parliament. The Workers' Party has worked hard to give you a respectable, responsible, and rational choice. Do you think we have satisfied this desire? I can't hear you. Say again. Yes. And look, all our candidates here, do they satisfy your desire for more Workers' Party MPs in Parliament? Yes. Very good. You know what? The PAP also knows this. And they are scared. They are scared because they know the number is up. You are the people. Your choice. You are the masters, right? And you have decided. You don't have to wait to May the 7th. You have decided. You know, they're so scared of Workers' Party. They attack our first world parliament slogan. They attack our manifesto. They said that we want to jam up parliament and block the government. Can you believe that? Nonsense. Because in order to do that, you need 29 MPs in Parliament. Workers' Party MPs in Parliament. But you know, we are only contesting 23. So how can that be? Do they know how to count? Right? So you know, they're so scared they can't even count. Right? Yeah, that's true. They already count your money. Thanks. Thank you. Now, they are so scared that they even attacked one of our candidates, Chan Cho Mao. You know, when he came back to Singapore, the press hit him the minute he entered the airport. So he told the press, all the newspapers in Singapore, all under SPH anyway, he told them that he explained his political convictions and his personal life. And yet, every day,